Buddhism was founded in India circa the 6th century BCE by Siddhartha Gautama, also known as the Buddha. With approximately 500 million followers, Buddhism is one of the oldest and largest religions in the entire world. Buddhism has maintained an important status as a religion in many countries in the Far East, but has also expanded to many areas of the Western world. Whether we realize it or not, Buddhist practices and philosophies have a great influence in our everyday lives. We can find it in pop culture, home decor, movies, books. Just about everywhere you look, you may find something inspired by traditional Buddhist culture. But what is it all about? I'm at the Ekoji Buddhist Temple to meet with Mark Lawal, a local member of this church, to learn more about the Buddhist religion.
When I come in, when I walk past, I like to give Shimon a little bow. On Sunday at 10 a.m., college student, come by on your way home and consider coming. But anyway.
As Mark and I walked into the church, I noticed him taking his shoes off, which I also did. This is a Buddhist tradition implying respect for the sanctuary. The building didn't look like anything I imagined. The church has a simple but serene design. Located adjacent from it, one can see a replica of the Garden of the Three Treasures, but the area that commands the attention lies in the back of the church. The eye immediately glides to the stage-like area where the leader of the denomination, along with some elders, sit to lead the churchgoers in songs, sermon, and meditation. To be completely honest, the atmosphere was not much different than any other church I have attended before.
As you can see, it's church. Sometimes people are disappointed. They think, they come up here and they're expecting to get a little tiny Asian guy with a shaved head and a robe. Instead, they get a big ham bone like me, but it's church.
Mark was raised in a mostly Christian home, but during his adult life heard of this specific denomination of Buddhism and found a connection that he did not feel with other religions.
Yeah, I came up in a Christian home. When I was in early years of high school, it was still the 1960s, as you might have heard. At that time, a lot of us punky little kids were getting interested in a couple of things. One of them was Eastern religions, because we were reading books by the beatniks and all, and they were interested in Buddhism and so on, and others were interested in Hinduism, and it was exotic and kind of cool. Zen was very sexy. Some people get a resentment that leave Christianity or leave any religion, Judaism, Hinduism, whatever it is. Well, I leave with a resentment, and I didn't. It just wasn't really a good fit for me. There was no attitudes or calling them a bunch of hypocrites or anything like that, because religion helps people.
To some degree, in a cynical way, I don't really think about religion or what it gives each individual, and in my bad days, I may not even care. However, the beauty in faith is universal, as I discovered Mark's reasoning for being a Buddhist.
What this just turned out to be largely about for me is about the cultivation of gratitude. And if I'm grateful, my behavior is probably going to be okay. If I'm just filled with gratitude, glad to be alive, I'm probably not going to act like a jerk. If I'm not real grateful, I still might be okay, but it starts getting iffy, right? So that's what it's been about to me. Learning to pay attention in a different way, and that's what this does for me in a big way. Plus, there's the social aspect of it. Coming in Sunday, I'm very happy because I'm thinking of who I'm going to see, and my friends are here now.
Right. Something that surprised me about the religion was that they do not necessarily support the concept of prayer. Rather, they prefer meditation and reflection. They do believe in the afterlife and heaven, as most would call it, but their take is a little bit different. Buddhists believe in reincarnation and feel the need to help others achieve the goal of being a Buddha themselves. Pretty much, the point is either we all get it or none of us do.
It would be more accurate to call it Nenju, which would translate as thought beads, I believe. There would be something burning in here.
Right.
I'm not feeling it bow. So you bow. you take a step up, like I say, this will be burning, and you take a tiny, not like this, but just the tiniest pinch of incense, and you drop it in there. And you put your hands together like this. It's called gasho. And you bow the second time. And you take a step back, and you bow a third time. Now on Sunday morning, the minister and maybe some minister's assistants will be standing over that direction, and you bow over there too, and everybody bows back. And you're not bowing down to them because they're a minister. You're recognizing the Buddha nature in each one, because everybody's got a Buddha in here. I've got all this damn mark piled up on top of it, but there's a Buddha in here someplace, and there's one in you too. So, in a yoga class, they say namaste.
Right.
So you just recognize each other's Buddha nature. And on Sunday mornings, there'll be 3 burners going, and we're all...
What I learned from Mark in our encounter was not just what Buddhism is as a religion. I learned that Buddhism, like most other religions, aims at enlightening the world and finding the beauty in it. It tries to unify people, to become self-empowered and realize that change in the world starts within and not just in a doctrine or a philosophy. The religion provides comfort, a sense of community, and possible answers to things that people may not understand or know. Like Mark said, religion helps people.
But it's a religion that people practice, that they don't just learn about, but it doesn't have any real effect on their behavior. It's not a hobby. It's something that can change your reaction to life, not just, like I say, something you just became fascinated by and learned about. It's something that you do. It's a real religion.